Sam,
Yes.
have you seen the Mario movie?
Oh my god, yes, I have. I watched it fairly recently.
Great. I haven't seen it. Spoil everything for me. Off you go.
Fantastic. Let's get started. Mario dies.
What? I don't
No,
believe
I'm
you.
kidding. Of course not.
I don't believe
The Mario movie came out by Illumination, and it's been in development for quite a long time. The release date kept getting pushed back a lot because Miyamoto, father of Nintendo, wasn't happy with the direction it was going and asked for a number of different changes to be made to the script and to the visual representation of the film. And I got the chance to go and see it. It's only just come out now in Japan, a month later than the rest of the world. So, joy of joys. I went and saw it in the cinema.
So basically what you're saying is I've had an extra month longer to see it and still haven't
And
seen
yet you still haven't. Yes.
it. It hasn't been out a month. I don't
It
believe
came
it's
out
been out a month.
4th of April, so it's just under a month, just shy of a month as of
Yeah,
now.
okay. Yeah, that
So
sounds about right.
I'll let you off this time.
I might go see it today.
Oh, please do.
just go
And
see
then
it.
you can come back with your
Yeah.
opinions.
Yeah.
So what do you want to know about the Mario movie?
I want to know so I've actually exposed myself to a few spoilers because I'm not a big Nintendo Mario boy. I hate to say it. So this is from what I can tell. This is sort of like a love letter to the fans more than anything, for the nostalgia element rather than like great film. What were you? I want to know basically, how does it rank as an actual movie? So remove your rose tinted glasses, remove your nostalgia. Yeah, thank you. Good. Now put them back on because I know you can't see me.
I can't see anything.
Yeah. Can you be brutally honest with yourself?
With myself?
You might not be able to remove yourself from it.
This
and
is a
tell
challenge.
me, what is this movie? What is this a good movie?
No.
Ah, okay.
Categorically.
Right.
Well, and you know what? That might
This
be
is why I
being a
haven't
bit
seen
too
it.
harsh. Like you said, this film lives and dies by the nostalgia and those rose-tinted glasses. If you have played basically any Mario ever, there is something in this movie that is directly targeted as, oh, I know that thing. Look at it there. There it is. We've got Donkey Kong is here. We've got Rainbow Road. There's the GameCube startup sound effect plays as a character's ringtone at one point. Like, there are so many little details. And clearly a lot of Mario passion is there. Like, the filmmakers like the source material. They've done their research. Everything fits together really nicely to create this really visually impressive Mushroom Kingdom full to the brim with references to every Mario game that has ever come out over this character's 35 plus years. Yeah, but the problem is it's an isekai.
It's an isekai.
So
Okay.
Mario and Luigi are just two down on their luck plumbers from Brooklyn, and they literally fall into a random pipe which transports them to the Mushroom Kingdom full of Bowser.
And that's a problem for you?
Yes, because they
Why?
never talk about it again. Like, it's just this, and I get the feeling they're trying to set up for sequels and maybe broadening out the Nintendo-verse, potentially.
Right, okay, yeah, great.
Because there's like a moment where Peach is like, there are so many galaxies out there and different worlds, and I'm like,
But they've used all of the things.
Well, this is the other thing. Yeah, like they've basically front-loaded this film with references and power-ups and other things from the franchise that if there was a sequel, I don't know what else they could do but go, look, it's this again.
Yeah. It sounds to me like they've gone, right, they know what they want it to be. They want it to be this hard-hitting, nostalgia-filled experience for everyone. So what they've gone, right, this is the plot, beginning, middle, end. And we're not going to focus on this because it's fine. It's the plot. And what we're going to do is we're just going to attach all these little things, we're going to hook this there, hook this there, hook this there. And the story itself is just meh. Like, they're not bothered. It gets from beginning to end. Happy days. Winner at the end. But they haven't thought, the writers themselves haven't been creative in sort of the story they want to tell. I heard that it doesn't really have a third act. Like, it just sort of finishes with the big bad being defeated.
I mean, by
the way, full spoilers if you didn't get that from the intro. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, we're going to go
listening
all in. I mean, it's a Mario movie. There's not exactly
Yeah.
that much to spoil. Like
Yeah.
there's Mario and there's
some
Bowser. And
go-karts.
he's gonna beat Bowser, I guess.
There's a
Yeah.
peach.
So there's the thing about this movie is it's both too fast at trying to tell its story, but also there's not a lot happening, if that makes a lot of sense. Like, Mario arrives in the Mushroom Kingdom, he goes to see Peach, and he's immediately training so that he can go with Peach to go to Donkey Kong, and then they go to Donkey Kong, then he fights Donkey Kong, and then he gets in the carts, and now they're go-karting, and they're fighting on the go-karts, and, like, then it's the final battle, and then, oh no, like, it's game over, and now we're back in Brooklyn, and now we're fighting Bowser, and all of that, there's no time for any character to breathe. It is just happening. And I think that's coming from this problem is it is a kids movie first and foremost. Like I said up top, it's done by Illumination, who did the Minions movies.
Yeah.
And they have a very particular style of
Yeah, but the Minions
filmmaking.
movies aren't bad. Like, you haven't seen them, have you? We had this conversation recently.
No. I've watched the first two. I think
No, you've seen Despicable Me.
No, I've seen Despicable Me, and I've watched Minions, and I've watched Minions 2.
Oh, right, okay. I don't think
the
they're bad
Minions.
movies.
I just hate them as characters, and that's why
Well,
I
that's
don't like
fine.
the movies.
That's your subjective opinion. But I
Exactly.
don't think they're bad movies. I think they're quite narratively, like, I genuinely, I'm saying this, and I can't genuinely remember the plots, but I remember watching them at the time. Like, don't they do
Narratively,
like, the
they're
whole
amazing.
backstory,
What
like,
happened
the big-
again?
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm like that with everything. I don't know. Okay, but whatever. Illuminations in this example, not has a way of doing things, I guess you're saying, and
like they're aiming it at kids, so there's a lot of kind of
but okay,
slapstick
big
humor.
question though.
Oh,
Are they? Because again, I haven't seen it, but from what I've heard and what I imagine, that the audience that will get the most out of this is our generation, the ones that have grown up through the 64, through the sort of all of the iterations of Mario, because they're gonna reference loads of different, kids nowadays are gonna play the most recent game of Mario, so they're
Odyssey,
not going to
right, and stuff
they're
like
not
that.
going to have a lot of the references and things that are going on in this film. So is it just aimed at kids?
Yes.
Or is it aimed at kids?
Well, this movie has made $1 billion. Movies don't make $1 billion unless kids are going to see it like again and again and again.
Yeah, but are they also just tapping into the nostalgia for the adults? Like the adults?
No, they 100% are, and I think like this is again the reason why this movie has made $1 billion is the fact that parents can take their kids to see it. The kids are going, "Yay, Mario! He's getting punched by Donkey Kong. He's bouncing off the tubes. He can't stand up straight." Ha ha ha! Jokes about people wetting themselves and things like that. It's like that kind of crass humor appeals to the kids.
Stupid kids.
Damn kids. But then all of that nostalgia bait and all of those references mean that parents don't mind coming back because it's almost a soft, safe space. The kids are happy for an hour and a half. The adults are happy because they can go, I know that thing. That's a fun sound effect. I remember when I used to play this on the GameCube.
Endorphins are ticking. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. So I think plot-wise, it is 100% aimed at kids. But because it's Mario and because Nintendo was so closely involved, they have to bring all of that 35-year history into the fold and make something that anybody can go in and watch and be like, yeah, great. That was a movie. I think if I'm being critical, I think the Sonic movies are better because there's Sonic
movies. Yeah, from what I've seen of the Sonic movies, they're narratively really fairly strong. Like they have twists and they have third acts where like they come back and they have to be stronger and they don't. Yeah, it's not just paint by numbers.
The messaging as well for the Sonic movies is, I think, stronger than the Mario Bros movies, because in the Mario Bros movie, it's called the Super Mario Brothers movie, so you would expect it to be really focused on Mario and Luigi, and there's this plot hook near the start of, as long as we're together, Luigi, then we can do anything, and then Luigi is immediately kidnapped, and then he's basically off screen for 70% of the movie, only coming back at the end, and I'm like, and there's this like mini subplot about like their Mario and Donkey Kong's dads aren't proud of them or don't believe in them, and then that's resolved immediately at the end. It doesn't feel good. Whereas when I think of like the Sonic movies, the first one is like a buddy cop style thing, and I wouldn't say it's a strong movie. I'd say it's probably about on par with the Mario film. But again, there's a full arc. But the second Sonic movie leans into what makes the character so exciting, and also gives him a arc of learning about himself and learning to treasure his family, even if they're found family. And that is a much stronger message that is more believable than we brothers can do anything together, but we've not really shown that off at all, apart from one scene at the start and one scene at the end. Like, Sonic builds trust with his human friends and his new animal friends, and then it comes together nicely narratively at the end. Whereas this, it's just, again, mile a minute, and you've only got an hour and a half to fill, because for some reason they've not extended this film out, which I kind of like. I like that it's shorter.
Going back to short form.
Yeah.
Shortening the movies. We get longer and longer and longer. It's like phones, isn't it? We get smaller and smaller and smaller, and then we'll get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Stretch back out, yeah. Because I watched John Wick 4 recently as well.
Oh, yeah.
And that's like a 3-hour violent movie, which doesn't feel like 3 hours. It goes by at a rapid clip.
It's great.
This is moving fast, but it feels longer. Because you're not as engaged, because it's not good. Yeah. I mean, visually, animation is stunning. The world is beautifully realised. I don't hate...
The creators and the digital artists and stuff that are involved in this, it doesn't take any credit away from them. They've done an amazing job of what they had to do and all of that sort of stuff. And, you would expect that from something with this kind of budget. If they skimped out on that sort of thing for a Nintendo product, you'd be a bit like, what a money grab. And I don't think you can really get away from the fact that it is like, no, I don't think. I don't know. I might be wrong. You will know more about this than me, but I didn't really hear a big calling for a Mario movie.
Yeah. So this is kind of hot off the heels of Nintendo trying to keep their brand strong and to kind of like bulk them up. I think the movie was announced. I want to say maybe 2016. Maybe I can't remember exactly when, but this needed to be a winner, because the last time we did a Mario Bros movie, which was in 1993, it was the Bob Hoskins weird cyberpunk dinosaur dystopia, which bombed horribly and is one of the worst reviewed films of all time. So with video games,
we should watch that.
We should absolutely watch that. I have never actually seen the full film. Okay. But it sounds hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we should do some bad movies. We
should have like a sub series of terrible movies that we've endured.
Yeah.
I think of some sort of like catchy name for it. But yeah, workshopping aside, because this had to be a hit, that's why it was stalled for so long. And I think the choice to go fully animated and to take arguably the biggest animation studio in the world to do this film, getting such a big voice cast on board. You've got Chris Pratt, you've got Anna Taylor-Joy, you've got Jack Black, you've got Keegan-Michael Key. And they all do a really good job. I think the weakest voice actor is probably Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, because he's just Seth Rogen. But it's clearly worse.
We've got this far through the review before mentioning the voice acting, because that's all everyone was talking about in the build. Chris Pratt? What? Italian plumber? What?
You know what? He does actually a pretty convincing Italian Mario. There's you might have seen the clip going around of Mario and Luigi rapping about their plumbing business.
No, I haven't seen it.
It's brilliant. And the end of the advert is them talking in like an Italian accent, and it sounds pretty good. Like, it's maintainable, but for the rest of the film, they kind of stick with this kind of Brooklyn accent for the rest of it. And you know what? Chris Pratt's pretty good. He's got little Italianisms that kind of sneak in, because I guess the idea is they're however many generation off the boat
Italian American.
Yeah. And it sneaks in there. He works it in kind of naturally when he's not being forced to shout "Mamma Mia" in slow motion as he gets kicked in the balls. Like, it's believable, and I think everyone's fears can be allayed that he is a good Mario. So yeah,
he is a good Mario. They'll put that on his tombstone. That'll be nice.
He was a good Mario.
Okay. Any final thoughts then before we move on? Because I haven't got any other comments. It sounds like a movie, and I
Definitely
may
is a
force
movie.
myself to see it at some point.
I think it's worthwhile to go and see, not just because it's now making gangbusters at the box office, but I think, again, if you have any passing affection for Mario, this will be worth your time. This is something that you will find something in and enjoy. Oh, I also have to say, the needle drops in this are bad. Like, they play...
Please explain needle drops.
So when, like, a popular pop song or
Okay.
pop culture song plays over the top of the scene, they do some amazing, like, orchestral versions of the traditional Mario soundtrack that, like,
Good.
really, like, help
Good.
build the scene. And then they'll just play, like, No Sleep Till Brooklyn because they're in Brooklyn. And I Need a Hero during
Sure.
training montage. I'm like, this is literally the most overdone examples of of these songs for this trope. And it's just, every time it happens,
I need a hero.
Yeah.
That makes me feel so... That reminds me of, like, if... Like, my dad was writing a kids movie. It's like, oh, we'll put this really boppy I Need a Hero music over the top.
No one has ever done it better than Shrek.
Yeah. Yeah, but, like, again, Shrek worked because it was tongue-in-cheek. Like, it was a parody of fantasy and all of that sort of stuff. And merging the genres. This is, like, almost too... It feels like it's too serious of a movie to be... It doesn't... Do you know what I mean? It's just... It's a cheap option. You need to think for a lot, and again, that goes to the whole movie. Like, you need to think a little more for more than 30 seconds on what you're gonna do.
You know what? That actually sums up, I think, 90% of the attitude towards this perfectly.
It reminds me. I could imagine if you asked AI to make the Mario movie, this is what it'd come up with.
Put it into the chat bot, and it's like, this is it.
Yeah,
honestly,
like. Big
head.
name actors, basic linear plot, some catchy music that drops at the right moment, like paint by numbers, AI, done all the stuff, great, off you go, bish bash bosh.
Completely.
That's what it feels like.
Like, it does feel like that, and I think you're absolutely correct. It feels like the first draft of this film, and they just went, okay, fine. And I don't know whether that's because of Nintendo's meddling or just time or whatever, but it feels like you could do so much with this idea, and you see little glimpses where they're trying to, like, push it into an interesting direction, and then just falls back onto the tracks of, oh, it's a kid's film, we've got to do the thing. So yeah, the Mario movie, I give it a wahoo out of 5.
Good, there you go. All right, shall we move on?
Yeah, let's move on. They play Thunderstruck during a kart making scene, dude. Like, it's bad.
Were they getting struck by lightning at the time?
No.
Oh.
They just needed something to play over the montage of the karts being built. I'm like, come on, man. Be better.